We have three more NHL trades to talk about here today, including a couple of goaltenders and one guy going back to his original team that was taken by the Seattle Kraken. We'll discuss that coming up next. Welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have three more NHL trades. This busy day just keeps getting busier. I do think and somewhat hope that things start to calm down here a little bit with the activity. Save something for tomorrow to talk about if we can. Obviously, like I said, we got three more trades. First up, we have the New Jersey Devils trading defenseman Will Butcher. He goes over to the Buffalo Sabres, and since they are absorbing his full cap hit, you get a 2022 fifth-round draft choice as well, and in return, it's only future consideration. So essentially, the Devils gave Will Butcher to the Sabres, along with a draft pick for them to take that contract off their hands. I remember when Will Butcher first signed there, he got off to a good start with the Devils and looked like a real promising young defenseman. I know he's still only in his mid-20s. I wonder if he can get things back on track. Now, I guess Devils fans especially, I haven't seen Butcher play a lot in the past year, given the way the NHL schedule has gone. I obviously get to see a lot more Canadian games this past year. Let me know, is he really that bad? Has things really gone that south for Will Butcher? I mean, obviously, it's kind of a shame because he had a ton of potential, and we'll see if he can get things back on track, possibly with Buffalo, but I mean, that's going to be tough as well, playing on a rebuilding team. Obviously, he might be able to get more of a bigger role, hard to say, but maybe some different coaching. We'll see what happens, but Butcher's off to the Sabres. Now, as I mentioned as well, the Washington Capitals have reacquired Vanecek, who they lost to the Seattle Kraken in the expansion draft. Now, the reason for this is pretty clear. The Kraken have gone out and signed Philip Grubauer, one of the league's top goaltenders last year, one of the Vezina finalists who departs the Colorado Avalanche and signs a 6-year contract with the Kraken, who they probably never expected in a million years that they'd be able to get through free agency. So obviously they already have Chris Driedger signed to a 3-year, $3.5 million deal. I do kind of wonder how he feels. He probably went to Seattle thinking he was going to be the starter, but obviously that's not going to be the case because of contract. He's automatically going to be the number 2. So we'll see how they go in that regard. But they also have Vanecek and they also have Joey Daccord. Joey Daccord is obviously waivers exempt right now, so he doesn't need waivers to go to the minors if need be, and he's young enough that he can be their number 3 goaltender. Makes more sense to keep him. So the Capitals obviously still looking for another goalie. Obviously they lost Vanecek. Craig Anderson's not there anymore. They thought about maybe bringing back Braden Holtby. He ended up going to Dallas, and the goaltending musical chairs game kind of started to happen pretty quick today with goaltenders being snatched up. So they go back and reacquire Vanecek here from Seattle, who they're very familiar with and had a real solid year last year, and obviously somebody they've spent time developing here lately. In return, they sent a second-round pick to the Kraken in 2023, so that's a pretty fair deal. The Kraken get a major upgrade in goal, and Vanecek goes back to Washington. Now, the other move involving a goalie also is impacted by free agency here. The Boston Bruins have traded young goaltender, 23-year-old Dan Vladar, to the Calgary Flames. Now, of course, Vladar became expendable because they just signed Linus Ullmark out of Buffalo. He signs a long-term contract with the Boston Bruins, so clearly they're going to go with Swayman as well as they're going to go with Ullmark and Swayman here, partially because Swayman won't need waivers where Vladar does. That's basically how they determine what to do here. Danny Vladar is no longer waivers exempt, so for him to be sent down, he needs to clear waivers. So when Tuukka Rask comes back, which we expect, he'll probably sign a 1-year deal with Boston once he's healthy, and then he'll likely run with Ullmark and Rask the rest of the way into the playoffs, and Swayman can go down to the minors if need be, then come back up for the playoffs. I suspect that's likely what's going to happen. Like I said, and Vladar becomes expendable. They figured if he goes down to the minors, he needs waivers. They're likely going to lose him for nothing. So it's not like they really wanted to move him, but obviously between he and Swayman, one becomes expendable after bringing in Ullmark from Buffalo. To make that acquisition, they send the Sabres a third-round pick in next year's 2022 NHL draft. So obviously Ullmark wasn't getting the deal he wanted from Buffalo, ended up going to Boston. So they kind of solidify their goaltending for the future here. Ullmark actually had a pretty decent stat line. Really, if you look at his numbers on a not-so-great Sabres team, you put a much better defense in front of him, you would think that he should have good potential to be a real solid goalie for the future here. Like I said, Tuukka Rask, it's hard to say how long he plays. Does he come back after surgery? You'd think he would, but obviously I think they probably have that in mind for later on. So we'll see how things go in that regard. But obviously all these moves impacted by signings and players becoming expendable and other teams taking advantage. Now Vladar goes to Calgary, where he should be able to be the solid number 2 and be a good backup to Jacob Markstrom. Obviously they don't have David Rittich anymore. They traded him at the NHL trade deadline. They missed the playoffs. They have Tyler Parsons, but Tyler Parsons is 23 years old, not NHL ready in my opinion. They do have a pretty good prospect goalie in Dustin Wolf, but Dustin Wolf's still only 20 years old. He could use some time in the minors as well, so this kind of buys them some time here for him to continue developing, and they can run with Markstrom and Vladar at the NHL level. So it kind of gets Vladar a more consistent NHL job too. So it is probably good for him in his long-term development, since the Bruins were bringing in a more experienced goaltender on a longer-term contract. So let me know your thoughts on these trades down in the comments. We'll discuss further. There is one more video coming as well on some signings, so stay tuned for that here coming very soon. I don't know if there'll be more after that. Kind of depends on the news cycle and if there's any more big transactions that are worthy of discussing tonight. So let me know your thoughts on these down below. We'll discuss further. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, stick around. We'll keep you up to date with everything here at Top Shelf Hockey on the entire NHL. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.